Hello, everyone. Hello. I would like to heartily welcome Green Tara to the living room and all of my viewers to my reading of Dr. David Kinsley's chapter in his academic book on the 10 Mahavidyas. And he has a chapter devoted to Ma Tara. And it is so auspicious that we are at this May weekend in some parts of the world where they celebrate Mother's Day. And I'm so grateful to have known so many beautiful mothers as a person growing up. So imagine if I was actually like somehow alienated in a way that I wouldn't have known any women. I feel like I would not be the person who I am today. So I'm very grateful to women, period. let's gong to that. Okay. Now, happy birthday to the person on the cover photo of this video. That he is currently trapped in a war zone. So I dedicate all food that I have mentally, spiritually to people who are suffering due to war zone circumstances, wherever they may be, whoever they may be, because everyone deserves access to food and water, as Ladaki Rinpoches have said before. They are such a blessing for all Buddhists, not just Vajrayana. I'm a Vajrayana practitioner. But yes, everyone can benefit from the grace of Vajrayana gurus. And one more note before I start the chapter. So due to ice raids, I have like this feeling that the Garchen Buddhist Institute's Tara Stupa could be used as a space for like shelter. And then once I got that thought, I actually saw His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche upload a video of himself talking, spinning his prayer wheel in the Tara Stupa. And he also gave like a heartfelt message about his previous teachings that are being archived because of generous funding. So that is very auspicious that people have access to that. So now let us begin the chapter. Okay. Homages to the 21 Taras to this day is well known to most Tibetans. Despite Tara's many forms and functions, it seems clear wherein lies her extraordinary power and appeal in the Tibetan context. She is approached primarily as a savior, as a being who specializes in dramatic appearances when her devotees call on her in dire circumstances. She is often said to rescue her devotees from such desperate predicaments as being lost in an impenetrable forest, foundering in a storm at sea, being under threat of imminent execution, or being trapped and bound in prison. So right now, Jammu and Kashmir is like a prison. In many folk stories, Tara appears at the request of her devotees to snatch them from the jaws of death. Tara's compassion for suffering beings then is revealed primarily in her role as the cheater of death. So there was a text, according to this text, in Tibet called Cheating Death that became very popular within the circle of Buddhists and then promoted like Tara worship. In this sense, her chief blessing to her devotees is a long life. Other stories featuring Tara also emphasize that regular worship of Tara brings about longevity. In Tibetan monastic monastic traditions, when novices are initiated into the ceremonies in honor of Tara, the rituals are referred to as an initiation into life. Unlike goddesses who are associated with life as embodiments of fertility, Tara is approached primarily as the one who protects, preserves, and saves life. In Tibetan homages, I think it starts with like Om Jitsuma Pamadromala Taksalo. I knew a person who could recite the whole thing. I can't, but maybe one day. She is not a fertility goddess, but a greatly compassionate being who cannot tolerate the suffering of her devotees. I think there's a line that says, whoever wants a child will have a child in the white Tara puja that we do at Garchen Buddhist Institute. Right. So yeah, it would be great if someone could share their own life story. Although Tara's primary appeal in Buddhism seems to be as the cheater of death, the prolonger of life, and a charming young girl, she does have a variety of forms. So in homages to the 21 Taras, her most popular hymn of praise contains several verses that invoke Tara in fierce forms. Homage, lady who annihilates the heroes of Mara, Ture, the terrible lady, slaying all enemies by frowning the brows of her lotus face. Homage, lady who strikes the earth with her hand, who pounds upon it with her feet, shattering the seven underworlds with the sound home made by her frowning brows. Homage, lady who strikes with the feet of Ture, whose seat is the form of the syllable ho, shaking Mount Meru, Mandara, Kailasha, and all triple world. The particularly fierce form of Tara is Tara Kurukula. She is described as follows. Homage and praise to her who stands in the dancing pose, haughty with furious rage, who has a diadem of 5 skulls, who bears a tiger skin. I pay homage to the red one, bearing her fangs, whose body is frightful, who is adorned with the 5 signs of ferocity, whose necklace is 500 human heads, who is the conqueroress of Mara. Tara Kurukula's special power lies in her ability to subjugate and destroy evil spirits or one's personal enemies. Through the rituals in which Kurukula is invoked, she comes to reside in the practitioner themselves. The rituals thus require a strong and accomplished adept, for Kurukula is a potent force. The adept dresses in red garments and visualizes themselves taking on the form of the goddess. Then they recite her mantra 10,000 times. So I will recite it now. Om Kurum Kure Re Soha Kurum Kure Re Soha Kurum Kure Re Soha Kurum Kure Re Soha. That was 4 times. Then they make certain offerings to her and ask her to subjugate the person or demon who is the object of the rituals. Quote, when these preliminaries are complete, when the devotee has grasped the vivid appearance and ego of the goddess, the visualization is ready to be performed. Light radiates forth from a hri in the practitioner's heart and places the person to be subjugated naked with unbound hair upon a wind mandala arisen from yam, that is, the seed of wind transforms into a round shape symbolic of the air element, and this wind propels forward the person to be subjugated. They are bound around the neck by a noose radiated from the practitioner Kurukula's lotus flower, drawn forward by an iron hook stuck into their heart, summoned by the strength of the mantra, and laid down helpless upon their back before the practitioner's feet. If the person to be subjugated is male, the text adds, Kurukula's iron hook is stuck into his heart. If female, it is stuck into her underpart. Other fierce forms of Tara in Buddhism include Mahamaya, Vijaya Vahini Tara, who is called the blue she-wolf, and Mahachinatara. Mahachinatara, also known as Ugratara, is described in both Buddhist and Hindu sources. Here is an account from a Buddhist work, the Sadhanamala. The worshipper should conceive themselves as Mahachinatara, who stands in the Pratyalita attitude, an aggressive pose in which the left foot is put forward and is awe-inspiring with a garland of heads hanging from the neck. She is short and has a protruding belly, and her looks are terrible. Her complexion is like that of a blue lotus, and she is three-eyed, one-faced, celestial, and laughs horribly. She is in an intensely pleasant mood, standing on a corpse, decked in ornaments of snakes, has red and round eyes, wears the garments of tiger skin around her loins, is in youthful bloom, is endowed with the five auspicious symbols, and has a protruding tongue. She is most terrible, appears fierce, with bare canine fangs, carries the sword and the kartri in her two right hands, and the Utpala and Kapala skull. Utpala is the flower, Kapala is the skull in the two left. Her bound up hair of one coil is brown and fiery and bears the image of Akshobhya within it. Vashishta and Mahachinatara. It is likely that Tara first became an important in Indian Buddhism and then, after being introduced into Tibet, assumed a central position there. Her place in Hinduism is not as prominent as it is in Tibetan Buddhism. She probably entered the tradition through Buddhist tantric influence. Clear indications of Tara's Buddhist affiliation remain in Hindu sources. She is said to have Akshobhya set in her hair. Akshobhya, the unperturbed one, is said to be an epithet of Shiva, but it is also the name of a Buddha. The most convincing testimony to Tara's early Buddhist association is a myth that features the sage Vashishta's attempt to worship Tara. Once upon a time, he did austerities for 10,000 years, but got no results. He went to the god Brahma and asked for a powerful mantra that might help him. Brahma told him about the glory of Tara. It is through Tara's power, he said, that he creates the world. Vishnu protects it, and Shiva destroys it. She is infinitely more glorious than millions of suns. She is the source of all light, and she reveals the Vedas. Brahma then told Vashishta to recite the Tara mantra for success. Vashishta went to Kamakhya, the famous goddess shrine in Assam, and undertook Tara's worship. After 1,000 years, he still was unsuccessful. At this point, the sage became angry and was about to curse Tara for her indifference. The whole earth trembled in fear, and even the gods were disturbed. At that moment, Tara appeared in front of Vashishta. She told him that he had been wasting his time because he did not understand her or know how to worship her. She said that Vashishta did not know her appearance in the form of Chinatara and that she could not be propitiated through yoga and austerities. Only Vishnu in the form of Buddha knows my form of worship. And to learn this kind of worship, you have to go to China. Tara then disappeared. Vashishta went to Tibet to find out what to do. Near the Himalayas, he had a vision of the Buddha surrounded by many beautiful girls and intoxicated with wine. They were all naked, drinking, and carousing. Vashishta was shocked and refused an invitation to take part in the frolic. Then a voice from the sky said to him, "This is the best way of worshiping Tara. If you want immediate success, you have to adopt this type of worship." Vashishta then took refuge in Vishnu in his form of the Buddha and asked to be instructed. The Buddha revealed to him the Kula Marga, a tantric type of sadhana, warning him that it was very secret. A central feature of this path is the ritual of the five forbidden things. With this ritual and on this path, one can live in the midst of good and bad things while remaining aloof from them. The Buddha told him, on this path, there is no need for traditional types of rituals. Worship is mental and not physical. All times are auspicious. Nothing is inauspicious. There is no difference between pure and impure. There are no restrictions on what one can eat or drink. Worship can be done any place and any time. A friendly attitude toward women should be cultivated, and worship of women should be practiced. Receiving this knowledge from the Buddha, Vashishta did the ritual of the five forbidden things and became a very powerful sadhaka, religious adept. He went to Tarapur to practice his new spiritual path. This place, now known as Tarapit, is located in Birbhum district in Bengal and is the place where the famous adept Bhamakepa 1843 to 1911 did his sadhana. It is located near a cremation ground. This myth makes several important points. First, the proper worship of Tara is associated with the Buddha, who is understood to be a form of Vishnu. That is, the myth implicitly acknowledges that Tara worship is derived from Buddhism. Second, the type of worship is tantric, specifically of the left-handed type, featuring the ritual of the five forbidden things. Third, Vashishta's going to north to discover the true form of worship of Tara suggests Tibetan influence. Fourth, the myth mentions Kamakhya in Assam and Tarapit in Bengal as important centers, which implies that worship of Tara in Hinduism was strong and perhaps centered in eastern India, where Sir Rajarshi Nandi is from. And he has also talked about this myth with popular YouTubers. Okay, the fierce Tara of Hinduism. There are several forms of Tara described in Hindu sources, but nowhere do we find the charming girl. Nearly every description of Tara in Hindu sources stresses her fierce, horrifying appearance and reminds us of the terrifying Tara Kurukula and Mahachina Tara of the Buddhist tradition. While Tara is said to have benign and compassionate aspects, they tend to be overshadowed by her terrible ones. The dhyana mantra for Tara describes her as thus: I meditate upon the Divine Mother of the three worlds, who is sitting on a white lotus situated in the center of waters, enveloping the entire universe. In her left hand, she holds a knife and a skull, and in her right hand, a sword and a blue lotus. Her complexion is blue, and she is bedecked with ornaments. She is decorated with three beautiful serpents and has three red eyes. Her hair is bunched into a single plait of tawny color. Her tongue is always moving. Her teeth and mouth appear terrible. She is wearing a tiger skin around her waist, and her forehead is decorated with ornaments of white bone. Sage Akshobhya, in the form of a serpent, is situated on her head. She is seated on the heart of a corpse, and her breasts are hard. Thus should one meditate on Bhagavati Tara, who is the mistress of all three worlds. Other forms of Tara are equally forbidding. This is her form as Nila Saraswati in the Tantra Sara. I bow to you, Mother Nila Saraswati. You give well-being and auspiciousness. You are situated on the heart of a corpse and are advancing aggressively. You have three fearful bright eyes. You carry a skull bowl. Scissors, and a sword. Your form shines like a blazing fire. Give me refuge, give me golden speech. Please let your gracious nectar drench my heart, remover of pride. You are decorated with snakes as ornaments. You wear a tiger skin as a skirt. You ring a bell loudly and wear a garland of chopped off heads. You are frightening and remove fear. Another of her dhyana mantras from the Tantra Sara describes her as follows. Tara should be conceived as emerging from a white lotus. She advances with her left foot forward, and she is dreadful in appearance. She is short in stature and has a protruding belly. She wears a garland of skulls. And we have a very fierce photo of tantric art from a museum in Delhi, 1926. Okay. She is eternally young. Her forehead is decorated with a row of 5 skulls. She has a lolling tongue. She is very dreadful and has 4 arms in which she carries a sword, a pair of scissors, a cut head, and a lotus. She has a smiling face. Her hair is in the form of a matted jata, a braided knot, on which sits Akshobhya in the form of a serpent. Her complexion is like that of a bright moon. She has three eyes. She stands on a blazing funeral pyre. Her teeth are dreadful. She is adorned with ornaments. Tara's description and characteristic in Hindu texts emphasize two important and related features that are absent from the Buddhist Tara. One, she is strongly associated with the goddess Kali, whom she closely resembles, and two, she is often located in the cremation ground.